Welcome to another edition, post-retirement edition of the Dojo Talk podcast. I am your host, Serial Sensei. We are back. Hold up, I'm gonna do that over again. That was trash. Hold on, let me start that over. Hold on. We gotta start that over. Welcome to the Dojo Talk podcast. Please remove them shoes before entry.
Sam Master is here, and you still have not taken off your shoes.
Yeah. Living every day to define man's mission. Looking to the sky for divine transmission. Deaf man's vision makes the blind man listen. Eyes on the prize, this is blind ambition. Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk podcast. I'm your host, Serial Sensei. This is another post-retirement edition. Our last episode was, according to SoundCloud, 1 year ago. 1 year ago was the last time you guys heard from us. And who was us, you ask? I'm, once again, a year later, still joined by my co-host, the Anti-Cool. What is going on, man? How we doing?
It's early. Like, earlier than we used to record.
It is.
But, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It is early. It's 9 o'clock, but I also got like 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I feel you. It's
Before we start, I want to say an extra special shout out to Leafy Loveboat. Because that's the only reason me and you were able to watch this card. Shouts to him on Tumblr. Who hooked me up with the link.
Hey, let's go. Listen, but there's a will, there's a way. And
yes.
we didn't find a way. Somebody found it for us, and we just went down the path.
My God. So like we're obviously here to talk. Like, this was one of the fights we were like, if it gets made, we're gonna come back and talk about it, right?
Indeed, yeah. That is why we're back. We said that y'all can go back in the catalog. It is documented. I don't know what episode, probably numerous episodes, but yeah, we said if
I think it was like the last one we recorded like week to week.
Yeah, like if Tenshin versus Takeru ever becomes a real thing, we will be back. And
it was that one. It was Spence Bud,
which
there was a third one. I just don't remember what it was.
Jones and Ngannou, which just throw that in the trash. That's not. We can go ahead and forget about that one. But Spence Bud, I think that's gonna happen. I think we're gonna get
October.
Yeah,
October, November. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, we're gonna get that one. So yeah, y'all aren't done with us yet. We're not done with y'all. However you want to take it.
Yeah. But I will say, Japan did not make it easy on us.
Not at all. If you tried to watch it, especially if you live in the stateside, you know the loops you probably had to jump through to watch this.
You live anywhere that's not Japan.
Japan, yeah, you had to go through some things to watch this. Listen, however you got there, we're not judging you. We all did what we had to do. We all had to find a way to make this work.
Listen, I have become more bitter since we stopped recording. I completely endorse stealing. This is a me endorsement for just stealing shit, because it's not going to go to who you think it's supposed to go to, your money. But I would have dropped like $40-$50 to watch this.
Yeah, easy. I would have gave them my money if I'd known I could have just watched it. I would have.
Fight TV, whatever that service Ryzen uses, so you could pay $25 to watch, Asakura or get his ass beat by Floyd Mayweather. But like, I would have dropped money on this, and they were like, so the person who dropped that there was going to be no international streams, he's a journalist, Drake Riggs, I believe his name was, and the way he was phrasing it, it sounded like it sounded like the reason that there was no international stream is because of Abima.
Oh boy.
And for those who know, Abima is the like streaming TV service that K1 and I think Rise operate on. This fight was originally supposed to be on Fuji TV, which probably would have made it easier to find.
Mm.
It's one of the big like networks in Japan. Like, you know, here we have ABC, NBC, Fox. You know, those terrestrial cable networks. It's like one of those over there. It's the network where like Ryzen fights. Like Ryzen does their New Year's Eve show every year, and they're able to get like 7 to 12 million people to tune in every year for New Year's Eve. Well, like every other big terrestrial network is doing the same thing. It's really weird. It was supposed to be on Fuji TV, but Sakakibara.
Had to mess up the fun for everybody.
The former Pride head, current Ryzen head, man who has zero invested in kickboxing, was given the producer role. And from my understanding, he was supposed to be like the go-between between Fuji TV and like K1 and Rise, and he was going to get them. He was going to use Ryzen's one one TV appearance a year on Fuji TV on Tenshin Takeru, which for Tenshin and Takeru, they were very upfront about the fact that they wanted this on like TV.
As they should.
Like, yes, I saw. They were like, I grew up. I watched K1 on TV. I watched Andy Hug and Masato and so, and I got to watch them like fight in front of these huge crowds in the Saitama Super Arena or the Tokyo Dome. And I want that. I want to influence the next generation of like young. I want the 6-year-old who's like suiting up in like his karate gi for the first time to watch me on TV and be like, I want to do that. And Kakibara, man who cannot stop hanging out with the Yakuza, fumbled the bag a bit for them. He tried to make it seem like it wasn't because of there's so much around this fight before we can actually talk about it. So it came out that so the actual story that broke was that there was a tabloid journalist who was trying to extort Sakakibara for money.
Yikes.
Because Sakakibara used this dude who is a known like Yakuza member. Funnily enough, not the same like Yakuza gang that was behind Pride. They're like a rival gang. So yeah, like he is so he was like he was using him for negotiations, which I don't know what that means. Like he's like difficult negotiations. I don't know what that means. Probably nothing good.
I was about to say, whatever it was, it could not have been anything good.
I mean,
could not have been.
I mean, don't get gang members, no great negotiators, but not for particularly doing anything legal. But as a result, they ended up losing the date on TV, which nobody was happy about, especially us, because like I said, it made it hard to find.
Only the biggest kickboxing fight in like history.
Recent history.
One of the most.
The other dimension of this fight. So like, Sunset, we watched like some of the K1 Grand Prix on your Twitch stream together.
Yeah.
We saw some of like the max fights, the 70 kg fights. You got your Buakaus, your Georgia Petrosians, all those guys. The big one was Masato. Like Buakau became like this international star. Like Masato was like on the side of planes. Like he was on like he's still on like celebrity TV in Japan, right? Like he is the Japanese kickboxing star. And a lot of Tenshin Takeru was trying to like capture that in a bottle again. As a matter of fact, he was there. I don't remember if he was on. I don't know if he was on commentary. I know he spoke during that last intermission. I heard a little bit of it. But yeah, that was like the theme of tonight, and it's really sad because we probably just lost Tenshin Takeru in kickboxing for like ever now. I mean, Tenshin's like 23. There's a good chance he might fail out of boxing and be forced to come back.
Takeru's a little older though, isn't he?
Takeru is 30.
All right, well, still young, but yeah, you're.
But you're 30, and the way he fights, where he leans
Right.
heavily on like pocket exchanges, and he's down at like 100. He normally fights at like 132 pounds, I think, or most recently anyway. And it's just like, well, how much further can you really go with that type of style? And as we saw, he got knocked down here in this fight. But yeah, there was like a whole bunch of stuff around this fight. Like two guys who have just outgrown the sport of kickboxing. In a way that like is really sad. Kickboxing has lost like so many of its best and brightest like fighters over the past like 6-7 years. Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya, Valentina Shevchenko, Robin Van Roosmalen is in Bellator. I think he's currently being investigated for like murder. Not murder, manslaughter. But he technically his last fight was in Bellator MMA, where he was supposed to fight for Bellator MMA. Jason Wilness, Cedric Dombe, like all these guys are leaving the sport. They're doing MMA, they're doing boxing. Like there's just no money in decentralized kickboxing right now, unless you're fighting for one and winning the tournament and getting $1 million.
Yeah,
and it's sad.
It sucks. Yeah, they have the stars, but there's just I don't know. I feel like there's not I don't know. Like
there's a lot of talent. There's so much talent floating around. It's just getting sucked into other sports because, like, well, if you're Alex Pereira, you could, fight for glory every like two times a year and make tens of thousands of dollars, or you can go to the UFC.
God forbid you end up on the same card as Badr Hari. Yeah. Your whole fight just gets shut down and we got to send everybody home.
I mean, to be fair, that wasn't Badr Hari's fault.
I know, but just saying that man is cursed. That man is
Everything
cursed.
follows him. Yeah, I know.
That man is cursed. But yeah, it's weird.
And now Alex Pereira has been in MMA for like a year. Now he's like a fight away from a title shot.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you can transfer to MMA. Listen, just learn a little bit of takedown defense, especially if you're in like the upper weight classes. Like these guys aren't like super. I'm not gonna say they're not talented, but if you got that high level striking and you can just learn some takedown defense, you'll be okay. You'll make it. You'll do just fine. But yeah, a lot of loopholes and struggle to get to this fight, but we made it.
We got it.
It did happen.
We got it.
We got it. I'll make a quick disclaimer. As you guys probably noticed, my voice does not sound the greatest. My nose is stuffed up. So if I sound like a frog or something, listen, it is what it is. I'm sick. I'm getting over it though. I'm getting better. But we had to record this. We mentioned earlier, we are fresh off of watching this. It is 9:06 a.m. in the morning on Father's Day, June 19th, 2022. Happy Father's Day.
Is the last time we recorded also on Father's Day?
It might have been. I don't know. It might have been. But yeah, all that time ago, we told y'all, man, if Tenshin Takeru happens, we're gonna be back. It happened. Like literally about 30 minutes ago, and we gonna talk about it. Now it sucks. Golly, this only being 3 rounds just feels like we got robbed. Like it just didn't feel You know how you said like we lost everybody to boxing, but like losing all the kickboxers to other sports, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like as fast as those 3 rounds went by, that like symbolizes like as fast as we lost them. Like, oh, the fun's over, the show's over. Oh,
Yep.
we might we might not ever get this again. Like it's like, oh, that kind of hurts because I had like a lot of fun for these 15 minutes or however long we were here watching this.
I will. Yeah. I mean, these things ebb and flow. Like when K1 Grand Prix or K1 the K1 Supermax shut down and FEG lost K1 to some like Chinese holding company because they couldn't afford to pay anybody. Like I'm sure no one thought that that like a decade or so later we'd be getting a kickboxing match that drew $25 million at the Tokyo Dome. And for like context, the UFC's biggest gate was like $17 million for Conor McGregor, Eddie Alvarez at MSG. And I think that would make it like the fourth biggest boxing like in the United States, like the fourth biggest boxing gate in the US. Obviously, Floyd Manny did like 77. Connor Floyd did like 55. There was one other fight. It might have been Floyd Canelo that did like 30, I think. Probably more. Oh no, I had it right here.
This was a big deal.
It was a big deal. It made a lot of money. Yeah. It was Canelo Gennady that did 27. So this would be the fourth biggest gate in the history of like US boxing. Which is absurd. That is an absurd amount of money.
Shout outs to Japan. Shout outs to everybody who got to see that in person.
Oh my God. I can only imagine like 60,000 people all in the Tokyo Dome.
I know they were turned up. I know they were losing it. Well, let's get to it. It, man. Tenshin versus Takeru. We pondered this fight, talked about it a bunch of times over and over. Wasn't sure if it actually happened.
So Sensei, I haven't had chance to ask you like what did you think would happen going in?
When the fight first got announced, I was leaning Tenshin, and then the closer the fight got, I started to sway a little more towards Takeru. I can't remember the names, but anybody who's watched like maybe the last 2 to 3 Tenshin fights, they ain't been the best performances we've seen from him. Some of them been kind of like he won them, but I don't know. Some of them were just like, that was, I don't know. I don't know, buddy. If that
like
that Tenshin shows up to fight Takeru, you might be in for a long night, buddy.
We're talking about a dude who like 6 months ago had like a boxing exhibition with like Takanori Gomi on Rise. That was really bad.
Like he was out here just looking weird. I'm like, but then like a part of me was thinking like maybe it's just that like he really wants this Takeru fight and just everything in between. He's just like, bro, I'm just not interested in this, but I got to do it because I got to do it. Like
I will say his last fight was against like a training partner and also his dad. His dad was in the opponent's corner.
Oh man. So yeah, I was like, maybe he just needs the Takeru fight to kind of like wake him up a little bit.
Right. Rise to the level of your competition.
Yeah. And I think we got that. I think we I think we got that.
I mean, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, for a little bit. That first round. He big bro Takeru that first round. I can't even lie. He big bro Takeru that first round. That I was actually kind of worried because I was like, man, I'm not really rooting for anybody. I just want to see a good fight. I was like, I hope Takeru doesn't. I mean, I hope Tenshin just doesn't watch this dude because this. Been waiting for this for a long time. I don't want him to just flatline him and then we just all go home. Like
I'm like, I was rooting for Takeru and I picked him to win heading into this fight in part because I'm like, well, if I'm gonna lose at least one of these dudes after this fight, might as well be Tenshin because he's leaving, right?
Mm.
We never really talked that too much about like Tenshin and Takeru's like personalities, like their behind the scenes, like their approach to fighting.
Mm.
Like Takeru is a sore loser. Like he's lost like twice, but one was in Muay Thai rules, so they didn't count it on his resume. But like the last time he lost, and he got pretty like messed up, like bloody no, like they had to stop the fight. Like on the like I think it was a cut.
Mm.
He left.
Yikes.
Like his coaches had to beg him to come. Like his coaches, managers, everybody had to beg him to come back to the gym and train, and be like, no, it's fine, it happens. You'll come. Like before this fight, he was like, I have the greatest like Takeru quote. Hold on. Like for me, a match is an exchange of lives. Defeat is equal to death. I have no plans after this. If I lose, it is over.
Wow.
That is Takeru.
That's like some samurai, yeah, he's wow.
He's like, I'm going till I lose. He's like, I'm going to keep winning until I lose, and then the game's over. No more fun. It's not
somehow
fun.
like watching how he fights, that makes like perfect.
Oh, yeah,
It's like perfect sense.
Dude goes out there and fights like he's going to die if he doesn't win at this exact moment. But like so I was rooting for him because I'm like, I don't want him to leave. Like I know he's like getting up there in age and like mileage, but it's just like it's one of the best in the sport still. And I figured he'd have the size advantage. Like you said, tensions looked not great over the past few fights. He's focusing more on boxing training. He's doing all these exhibitions. Takeru, hits like a truck. He has a gas tank. He's gonna overwhelm him. It's only 3 rounds. He's gonna overwhelm him with volume. Take rounds on activity, and he's too tough to get like hurt, so he's not gonna get scared off. So another thing about Takeru, that I didn't realize until somebody else pointed out. I think it was Dogman on Twitter. Suffers with southpaws a lot, and we saw that here because Tenshin literally, I don't think he missed a straight punch the entire fight.
The jab was just
the jab, the 1-2, everything landed
flush.
It was kind of amazing.
Every single time.
Anything Tenshin do right down the plate, just it looked like he didn't see it coming.
That and I think I don't know, man. Tenshin, the speed though, like it was just jab 1-2, get in, get out. Like he was just, especially like that was kind of like the story of the first round is just, it was like Tenshin just got in the matrix in the first round. Just like he just looked ready. Like now I'm woke up now. Like y'all, I don't know what I've been doing these last about 3-4 fights. I've been kind of lollygagging around, but I'm awake. You have my full attention.
Right.
And I'm gonna jab your face off.
Yeah, and that's Tenshin's game. Like he's a sniper. Like he's not. If Takeru is the guy who's going to overwhelm you with offense, Tenshin's the guy who's going to make you pay for thinking you can come forward and attack him. Like not particularly like a counter puncher, but like he's going to break you down. If you give him the space, and we saw that here. To the point where, like you said, we got I can't remember the last time if I've ever seen Takeru knocked down before.
I've never seen him, and albeit I haven't seen like a ton of Takeru fights, I've never seen him just lose a round like that. Like he got like it looked like he was getting schooled. Like it looked bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like a close parallel. For like, because I know like most people who listen to us listen particularly for like MMA.
MMA, yeah, they might not. Yeah, I kept trying to think.
And I'm struggling like between like 2 high level fighters. The closest I could think of is like maybe one of the early one of the rounds in the Max Holloway Brian Ortega fight.
Yeah, I would say Max versus Ortega minus like all the blood and
Yeah,
like if you take away the blood and like the crazy amount of damage, but just a matter of my boxing is just
and momentum.
yeah,
like
it looks so much cleaner than yours right now, and you can't. I'm not gonna let you get anything off. Like you're gonna catch these hands for a little bit.
Yeah.
You just got to deal with it.
I mean, like going back and watching the I've been watching the knockdown a bunch from the first round. And it's just like he catches Takeru with like a straight left hand down the pipe as he's winding up on this big swinging left hook.
Mm.
And I don't think he was like I don't think he was like particularly hurt. It was like a flash knockdown, but it's just like that's such great timing.
Mm-hmm. And the way he went down, I was like, oh, is this? Are we about to have an early night?
Yeah,
or early morning, I should say. Like,
and what is a great fight without like great controversy?
Oh yeah,
that second round. Oh
yeah, so yeah, the first round just to surmise, Takeru just kind of schooled him. Second round, it got a little chippy, got a little. It started to look like a Takeru fight, but a little just some spice going on in there.
Yeah, this is like a real. This was a good referendum on like both of them. If you think about it, like we got to see what happens when Takeru is just not able to like bully someone in the pocket like he's normally able to do in that first round. In the second round, what the big knock against Tenshin is that like kind of a front runner. Like he's a guy who's like, if the fight gets difficult, he's just cool sitting on the back foot, picking his points, waiting out time. And we saw that here. And it didn't come off a punch. Takeru just headbutted the shit out of him.
And then that was the whole thing for like a couple minutes. He's in the corner, they're looking at his eye, and it's like, all right, guys, we had a nice little thing going, and now it's just got a little chippy in there.
Oh yeah, I legit thought his eye was closed for a second.
Yeah, it looked like because the doctor had tried to open it. It looked like he just didn't want him to touch it. And I was like, oh boy, come on, man, let's not.
Yeah, I think that was just one of those things where it's like it's damaged, so he's like flinching.
And then I can't remember if it was the same round or it was the third round where Takeru slammed him and he.
That was the second round.
Yes. Excuse me. Takeru slammed him.
Like, well, I didn't know this. I don't know. So, I didn't read up on the rules. I don't know what rule set they use for this fight. Like, I don't know if it was Rise rules or K1 rules, and they're slightly different. Like, you can catch kicks in Rise and like counter off them. You can't really do that in K1. But I don't know if either rule set lets you dump somebody.
Yeah, something tells me that probably wasn't legal.
And then Tenshin took his sweet ass time getting back up.
He got up. He's doing like the old man back pain walk. He's got like one hand behind his back, like holding his lower back.
He's doing like side crunches. He's doing like leg stretches and side crunches in the corner. Yeah, again, no, give me a second.
That was funny. But yeah, the second round definitely. Even though I didn't like it was entertaining, but
I mean, I found it funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
It's a great fight without like some great controversy.
Yeah, and it definitely started to. I'm watching it now. But I enjoyed that the fight just started to get a little more scrappy. Like, I think Takeru kind of settled in a little bit, recovered from the knockdown pretty well. And I feel like he was able to push the pace a bit more. And kind of like you said, like when they were exchanging in the pocket, like you're never going to get Takeru to back down from exchanging in the pocket. Like that's where he lives. Like that's where the work is done. Yeah. And if you fight Takeru and it starts to get chippy and dirty, he's probably going to get the better of most of those exchanges.
And it's not just because like he's such like he's had like a historically granite chin, but like he is a smooth operator in the pocket. like oh my god, was it Rui Abata that he knocked out with just like the cleanest pocket exchange I've seen like a kickboxing match. I think it was Rui Abata. No. That's Tenshin. Who am I thinking of? Oh my god. Point being, like he is a guy who will get in the pocket, like parry a bunch of your shots, like block him off the gloves and counter back with like the same hand and knock you out with it. Like he's got that level of operation in there. But also sometimes he'll just throw down like a caveman. And it works.
Yeah, it definitely does. And like Tenshin's great when he can kind of operate in space, get the clean jabs off. Takeru's in the second round is just in his face like the entire time. It's like, all right, I'm here now. Let's go. And I ain't gonna say it caught Tenshin off guard, but he looked a little uncomfortable. Like, all right, now this guy's like really in my face. And speaking of other little dirty things that happened, Tenshin definitely punched Takeru in the back of the head. I don't know if a lot of people paid attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely punched Takeru in the back of the head.
Like not one of those like I'm grabbing you with one arm and you're turning your head away. He's like Takeru's entire back was turned.
Yeah. So yeah, to summarize the second round, it was a chippy second round. It was a grimy kind of round, and
it's one of those rounds where like you're gonna get like it doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to get one of those rounds in your career. Maidana gave one to Floyd. I don't a lot of people, or at least a lot of the people listening to this will probably recognize this one, but it's always the one that stands out to me. Mikey Garcia, do fought Errol Spence.
Yeah,
it came up like a couple weight classes. Well, he had a fight with Orlando Salido, I think it was. Orlando Salido, of course, being the first dude to beat Vasily Lomachenko and the pro as a boxer. And that's another fight where it was like Salido was just low blowing the shit out of Vasily Lomachenko. He had no idea what to do. It's just those are the fights you're gonna get. Like somebody's going to just foul you and might even do it repeatedly. But I brought up the Mikey Garcia fight because I think Salido broke Mikey Garcia's nose on a headbutt, and this came after like the shift in the momentum. Like there's like 2 or 3 rounds. There's like I think it was round 8 that they stopped the fight, and it was like 2 or 3. Like Garcia was winning like the first 5 rounds like super clean, and Salido started wearing on him and wearing on him and wearing on him, and then eventually the headbutt came and it broke his nose, and Garcia used that to get out of the fight. That he was on his way to losing, and ended up winning because technical decision. But though you're gonna get those types of fights, and like that was always going to be the type of fight that like if Takeru was able to get it out of tension, he would probably win. Just because like I said, Takeru's the man with the granite chin. This isn't completely fair, but we have seen Tenshin knocked out before, and we see what happens when he gets hurt. So again, completely unfair. But you think back to the Floyd fight where he was like flopping around like a fish.
Yeah, that was yikes. So they do open scoring? I didn't know.
They do open scoring. Yes,
I didn't know.
It ruined the drama of the fight.
Yeah, I don't. And this is a side note because I see a lot of people argue for open scoring in MMA. I don't mind it, like if you only tell it to like the coaches, but I don't want to know who's like. That's the part of the fun. Like, let me be on the edge of my seat when the decision's being read. Like, I don't want to know right at the end. Like
I don't want to know after round 2 that like, oh my god, they gave round 2 the so and so even though he landed 0 punches and got knocked down.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be angry going into round.
Right. You'll see people say like, oh, the combat sports are the only sports where you don't know the score at the end of the game or something I'm like, this ain't basketball, bro. Like, I don't. This is so different. Like, you can't. Those same rules and principles do not apply to this. Like, it's so different. I don't
vibe with that. Nah.
Yeah, you can. I don't mind telling to the coaches because now they can really instruct their fighter. Like, bro, you better get on the gas because we're about to catch this L, and maybe they can make their adjustments. But the fans, I feel like we should be kept in the dark. But yeah, so I guess tension. I guess 10-8 first round because of the knockdown. I don't know who they scored the second round for. I think I gave the second round.
I honestly I don't know what the score is.
Yeah, I don't know what the score was either. On my scorecard, I gave the second round to Takeru. On my score,
just blatantly headbutts the guy. I mean, that was the most damaging strike in the round.
Hey, it worked.
You're not wrong.
It worked. The third round was fun too. I feel like the third round was like a mixture of like the first two. Well, not so much the first, maybe. It was like the second round, but I feel like not as what's the word? I don't say dirty.
It was very grappling.
Yeah.
Like Tenshin was obviously super tired. Probably could only see out of one eye. Was like, anytime he'd throw anything, like he threw a 1-2 that landed and then followed up with a flying, and he just grabbed the crap out of Takeru and like just kind of ragdolled him a little. Not ragdolled him, but like he refused to let go. There was a point in the third round where like the referee was just break, and literally is stepping between the two, and Tenshin is reaching over him and like hugging him to get like extra seconds worth of breath.
Yeah, it was another like chippy round, and like Takeru landed some good shots, but you could tell that like he's landing and then he's trying to like back off, or he'll hold for a little bit. Tenshin will land a shot and then he'll like back off, or he'll grapple, hold for a little bit, catch his breath.
Did not give
Takeru is having the time of his life.
He is smiling like a psychopath.
He is just having a blast, just throwing punches, kicking, constantly moving forward. I think at one point, like, he completely dropped his guard and just like Tenshin just punched him like 3 times. He didn't care. Like, he just whatever, bro. Like, I'm having fun in here.
I wish this was a 5-round fight because oh my god.
Yeah, I think if we would have got 2 more of this, I think Takeru might have.
I think Takeru gets him out of there.
Yeah, he might have got this. Because Takeru he does not look tired at all. Like, this man is just he's a machine. Like, he just keeps going. He just never stops. And you can tell, like, Tenshin. I'm not gonna say Tenshin don't want no parts, but it's like, I'm gonna land my shots. I'm gonna push you away because let me breathe for 2 seconds. If you get in too close, I'm gonna hug you for about 4 seconds because I'm just trying to breathe for a little bit.
Yeah, and meanwhile, when the referee breaks them, Takeru is literally like as the second he says go is charging at Tenshin with everything he has.
I was worried at like the very last part of the fight because I gotta fast forward to see it because it was only like 10 seconds left, and Takeru had to like get a little space away because it's like, bro, Tenshin is he's about to rush you these last 10 seconds if you don't move. Like, you better get out the way and figure something out because he's about to get right in your face. But yeah, no, the third round was a nice. It was a nice chippy round without like all of the fouls. I guess I could say like nobody got slammed. I don't think anybody got hit, but it was just a nice grimy, just kind of like we're gonna trade some shots. It's gonna get real dirty, and then not dirty as in like we're cheating, but it's just a nice grimy kind of round. And I'll give props to Tenshin though, because like we said, normally these kinds of rounds would tend to favor Takeru. I think Tenshin did a good job of this round, even though you could tell like I'm dying out here, coach. I'm tired, but like, I think he did a good job of holding his own in a kind of round that's as chippy and not as clean as he would have probably liked it to be.
Yeah.
I definitely think if they would have went about 2 more rounds, I think Takeru might have this fight might have went a little different. That's why I was like, man, this went by so fast, and I was having such a good time watching it, and then it ended, and I was like, oh, this is over already.
Man, I've been watching a lot of those like old PKA cards, Professional Karate Association. Like imagine we had 7 rounds of that.
Oh, we probably wouldn't. I don't think we would have needed it.
Probably not.
But if he would have had it,
yeah,
that would have been.
We only that's one of the knocks on kickboxing is just like you get 9 minutes if it's not for a title fight. And it's really hard to build we got a good narrative, but it's really hard to build like a story over that amount of time. Not a lot of room for ebb and flow, but we got a lot of it here, which you put 2 of the best pound for pound in the world in there against one another, it's bound to happen. But this I think this fight over delivered, honestly, because we got to see some stuff. We got to see both guys tested in ways that other fighters have not been able to. And like with all the circumstances surrounding it, with potentially being both of their last fights,
I don't. Yeah, I think other than this only being 3 rounds,
yeah,
I was really happy. I was just sad that when it ended, like I was like, oh man, that was because it literally went by just like that. But like while I was watching it, because for those who don't know, just kind of off podcast behind the scenes stuff. I was supposed to have left my house probably about an hour ago to go to the store, and I kept seeing everybody on Twitter like, "Yo, what's happening? It's happening. The fight's about to start." And I was like, "Well, let me go ahead and find a way to watch this real quick." So I wanted to be in on the fun. I did not want to. At first, I was content, like I'll just watch this after it's over. And then the closer it got, I was like, "Nah, I can't. This feels like a moment I need to see in real time." So yeah, no, I'm pretty happy. Obviously, well, if you don't know, Tenshin won. I guess unanimous decision. I don't know. I can't read Japanese. I don't know who this. I don't know. I don't know those numbers or whatever.
I do think all the judges. I do think all the judges have voted for Tenshin.
Okay.
And just based on how the fight ended at the end, I think Takeru knew there wasn't going to be an extra round. Like, Tenshin immediately threw his hands up. Takeru was like, it got away from me.
Yeah.
Poor guy was like breaking down, crying when he was leaving the ring.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, I'm glad. I'm kind of glad I didn't see that. That might have hurt.
Yeah.
That might have hurt. But yeah, it was a really fun fight. I think for it to only be 3 rounds.
Crime.
That's a crime. But for the 3 rounds we got, I was happy. We got a knockdown in the first. I was not expecting, or if somebody was gonna get knocked down in the first round, I would have thought it would have been Tenshin, not Takeru. So that was a wild surprise. And then we just got to see Takeru be Takeru, put on some nice little grimy rounds, and it was people getting tossed around and slammed, and it was a lot. Like we got everything. You got everything. We got all the legal and the illegal strikes you could think of. We got all of them. So hold up, did Tenshin do the Rolling Thunder? Did he try it?
Yes,
he did. Okay.
Which is I remember the last time I saw him do it. I feel like it's been a while.
I guess against Takeru, it's like I got to try it at least once.
Yeah.
Didn't land. I'm pretty sure it didn't land. Might not even came close, but yeah, if it's a Tenshin fight, you got to try the Rolling Thunder at least one time.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say no. I had a good time. I'm satisfied. I would like to somehow we could get this again, but I know it felt like we had to move all the winds and earth just to get this one fight. So I don't know.
So hold on, what's homie's name? So I think it was Luke wrote it on Twitter. Luke you would swords. Or was it combat? There was somebody on Twitter who very accurately summed up the situation where like this was a bug of the kickboxing scene as a whole, and in particular the Japanese kickboxing scene. This wasn't like a feature. This wasn't like a crowning achievement. There are a lot of factors that went into this fight actually being made, and almost zero of them have to do with like, oh well, we want the best to fight the best. Like K1 and Rise are very protective of their like, well, just there's not like for as much crap as we give boxing for not having cross promotional fights that we want, like we're just now potentially getting Bud Spence. It's not much better in any other sport, if we're being honest. Like Michael Chandler was like 36 and had to leave Bellator to get a fight in the UFC. Right, or with a UFC fighter. Yeah, Justin Gaethje, same thing. He had to leave PFL to go fight a UFC fighter, fight in their like little thing in their little fiefdom. And it's not much, but it's not better in Japan, like at all. In fact, it might actually be worse, especially if you like follow like the pro wrestling scene there. Certain promotions you can't like, even if you like go outside the company and work with another company, you can't go against like, somebody who's in a company that you're against in your local, in your local area. Like there's a couple wrestlers in AEW who are signed to Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling who can't wrestle against Stardom talent, even if they were to wrestle in the United States, because that's bad for like local. But it's the same thing with kickboxing. And for whatever reason, this fight we've been talking about this fight for like 5 years.
Literally.
Yeah. And the only reason this fight got made is because Tenshin is leaving. Takeru is 30 and been fighting once a year for the past like 3 years. COVID, because they haven't had a big gate. Neither company's really had like a really huge gate because COVID, shut down. Like Japan has been like struggling to get like the like live events, and like they can't get international talent in the country, so it's just a bunch of Japanese fighters fighting other Japanese fighters. And because Tenshin's leaving. Wait, damn it, say that right. But like, you add all these factors together, like, and that's why we get this fight. It's not because like Rise believes in their champion and K1 believes in their champion, and they want to co-promote to grow the sport, or find out who the actual best is, or just put on a really great fight for fans. It was just, I'm not gonna say it's a money grab because every fight's a money grab, but like this happened in spite of itself, I guess. And it sucks. Like this was a great card. It was designed to be like a 50-50, like Rise wins half the fights, K1 wins half the fights, and that's kind of how it went down. But like you want this interpromotional, like you want the best in this company to fight the best in this company. You want everybody working together to grow the sport and not like try to like carton off a part of the fans here and part of the fans here, because it's not fun. It's not fun that way. Look what like you got a $25 million gate. You got 60,000 people in the Tokyo Dome for a fight that's not even on terrestrial TV.
Right.
It's annoying that this is the only way this fight was going to get made.
Well, I guess at least we got it.
Yeah.
At least it took a while. It took way too long, but
it took so many factors outside of the promoter's control to make this fight happen.
A lot of
Takeru was apparently going to like executives at like TV stations and stuff and being like, I want to fight Tenshin. Like this these guys, like, I don't think either guy was like, I don't want to fight the other guy or whatever. At least not like, privately. Publicly, they might have said, I don't need him to, secure my legacy or whatever, because, you want to do good by your promoter.
Hmm.
But like, I don't think this was a case of like either guy was like afraid of the other, like some people were trying to make it out to be.
No, just probably a crazy amount of red tape.
Let's see.
But hey, all in all, I'm happy. I'm thankful that we at least got it. It's documented. It was a real live event that happened. I heard the rest of the card was great. I didn't get to catch it, but I'm glad it happened.
I only saw a couple of fights. Like I saw, it was Tenshin's brother fight. He lost, which is funny because now he has more losses than Tenshin does, and he's only 16.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got time.
Yeah. He's never gonna get that O back.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Maybe he'll be the brother that takes losses better. He has more experience.
Yeah. I mean, like that's the thing. Like the landscape is wide open. There are a bunch of guys. Like, if you're new-ish or you're like casual, like me and Sensei, to like Japanese kickboxing, there are other guys. There are other really, really good guys. Guys who will eventually, who might not be like Takeru and be like singing pop songs on TV, or like Tenshin, who's probably going to like headline the Tokyo Dome in a boxing match for like the Japanese bantamweight title or whatever. But there are a lot of really good guys in K1 and Rise who are really young and like only getting better.
I was gonna say, like, sometimes if you just every now and again I'll just go on YouTube, I'll just type in Rise, and I don't know any of these people, but I just start clicking on stuff.
Yeah,
and 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna have a good time with whoever they put in front of me. I don't know them, but they can fight, so I'm gonna watch it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, watch kickboxing, man. Watch kickboxing, support kickboxing. I don't know what's going on with Glory.
There have been some really good moves lately. Rise, Infusion, Glory have all kind of formed a partnership. They just had their Glory Rivals card the other week. Tiffany Vance just fought one of the Rise.
That's what's streaming right now. They're streaming on their YouTube right now.
Glory
Rivals.
Yes, they're doing like Tiffany Vance just fought. I can't remember if it was like a Rise or Crush champion. I think it was the Rise champion. One of them. Was it Kobayashi? I think it was Kobayashi. One is doing one things, and I don't know how they make money, but they're putting on world-class kickboxing talent. Like, if you're gonna watch anybody in kickboxing, go watch Super Bond. Dude is gonna light up the world right now.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. One. I've been preaching the one gospel. I've been on the bandwagon. One been having all my favorite cars this year. I have so much fun. Anytime it's a kickboxing card, oh man, that sound me. I don't care who's fighting. I'm watching it.
Dude, their kickboxing and Muay Thai cards blow their MMA cards with the water.
Yeah, it's not even close.
It's not fair.
It's not even close anymore.
Like, when you can have Super Pond and Georgia Petrosian and Taiwan Chai and like Patch, you have all those dudes on a card. It's not really fair to be like, well, here's Alex Silva,
right?
On the other one. No shade at Alex Silva, but like, come on.
Yeah, no, one's been killing it, man. One's been killing it out here.
They've had some fun BJJ stuff too, so that's neat.
Oh yeah, they did. What was that? The young kid. Well, they probably all were young.
Ty.
I cannot remember his name.
Raulo.
Because I think I watched it while I was working, so I was like half paying attention. But that kid was really good.
But like when you obviously, what's his name? Tonin has been out like competitive BJJ doing the MMA thing for a hot minute, but like when you submit Tonin in like 2 minutes,
that's still something. Yeah, that's
you are as legit as they come.
Mm-hmm.
Ruotolo. There we go.
Yeah,
he did it in 97 seconds.
Yeah, that kid's nasty. I love one, man. One just put every martial art on the card, and bring some sumo in there. Just do everything. I'm here for all of it.
yeah, hell yeah. It's
I'm
great.
here for all of it. One is definitely my favorite promotion. It's so fun to watch. But that was Tenshin versus Takeru. Hopefully you can find a way to watch it. Hey, look, it's on YouTube right now, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know if this is still.
There's some crop versions on YouTube. I just posted one to Tumblr.
Yeah. So if you ain't seen it yet, listen, they ain't give us no other choice. You got to boot. You probably gonna have to bootleg this one. We just got to put it out there because they didn't give us no other way to really watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check that out. It's good stuff. I guess we're kind of freestyling this episode. We won't be here for too long, but real quick. I had like two quick topics I wanted to hit. But real quick, we're gonna breeze through this Takeda versus Emmett card because that also happened last night. I'm not really gonna break down any fights. I will leave it to you to break down the main event, which I like halfway watch, but I'll make some notes. I'll just say overall this card was violent. Like it was violent. Like there were a lot of people got lined up at the pearly gates on this card. There's a lot of people getting knocked out. Hold up, let me check. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 finishes on this entire card. 8 of those were KOs or TKOs, and 1 was a submission. I'll just say if you didn't catch it, notable fights, watch the entire prelims because pretty much.
I'm just saying, like, there's only 2 hours of in-cage time.
Yeah,
Not even. So
yeah, like you can literally. I'll shout some people out. Roman Dolidze, he was the first person who fought. Shout out to him. He KO'd Kyle Dawkins. Phil Hawes beat the Earth, Wind, and Fire out of Deron Wynn.
right in front of his coach.
Yeah.
On commentary.
And then him and DC had words. And then DC had to check him. That was funny. That was funny. But Phil Hawes beat the piss out of Deron Wynn. Boy, that was yikes. Cody Stamen, TKO, poor Eddie Wineland and his beard. Maria Oliveira, split decision over Gloria De Paula. Ricardo Hamos spinning back elbow Danny Chavez to another dimension.
Number 2 for him in the UFC.
Yeah. Yeah, that, and he hit it was like a nice duck spin. It was, oof. That was nasty. The Jeremiah Wells Court McGee KO happened so fast. Like, I had the fight open, and I had like 2 other tabs open. And I clicked over to another tab, and by the time I clicked back, Court McGee was dead. I didn't even see what happened to the replay. He got laid out.
Did not see the hook.
Yeah, I didn't either. None of us saw it. Natalia Silva, which I think this was her debut at flyweight in the UFC, but like her debut in general, I think. Decision, Jasmine. I'm not even gonna try to say this last name. Jazzy. That's
Jazzy J.
Yeah, put some taekwondo on her. Got a nice decision. Adrian Yanez sent Tony Kelly to the shadow realm. That was that was my moment of the card. Took the trash out expeditiously, got him out of there. Every now and then the MMA gods they enact karma, and it's beautiful. So yeah, get Tony Kelly out of here. Gregory Rodriguez and Julian Marquez, that was a fun scrap for the 3 minutes or so that it lasted.
Yeah, props to fake RoboCop.
Man,
real RoboCop is in KSW right now. Welterweight middleweight champion, but dude showed out.
Bro,
no one's done that to Marquez yet.
He hits extremely hard. This man is a tank of a middleweight. But yeah,
crazy that he's a former BJJ guy, like BJJ champ.
Yeah, he did take us back at one point, but I'm like, if you hit that hard, do you need to take people down? But it's good to have the well-rounded skill set. He's definitely going to give anybody issues. It's not a guy you want to see. A fight that I wish I would have been able to pay more attention to. I was playing Mario Kart while this car was on, guys. So some of this, like I saw, but I wasn't like fully there. But this Damir Ismagulov and Garam Kudalaze fight looked like a really great fight that I only was able to catch like bits and pieces of.
So that's my fight of the night. I know they gave it to Emmett Cater, but that was my fight of the night. They were so freaking good. I forgot how good Guram was just because he's been gone for like 2 years. And you know Demir is like really, really good, but like
I was watching like they're not ranked.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Because like that looked like a top 15 fight, and that lets you know how crazy this division is. Because those guys look like they could give anybody some issues.
I mean, Guram did beat Mateus Gamrot, and Gamrot's headlining next week.
Mm. Yeah, no, these two, yeah, definitely. If you have ESPN Plus or however else, you can catch this on a replay. Definitely watch that fight. Oh, you know what? I'm realizing I missed the Joaquin Buckley fight. I did not see this.
Joaquin basically hit Albert Duraev, at rage because Duraev just stood there doing nothing, and then he would try to like close distance, and Buckley would just freaking hammer him.
Mm.
I swear they only counted 2 knockdowns, but I swear to God, I remember him getting knocked down like 5 times in 2 rounds.
I don't know about that. Excuse me.
Yeah, Duraev's face, like when his eyes closed, the doctor had to stop the fight after the second.
And then co-main event, we had Kevin Holland versus Tim Means. I need to go back and watch this fight because when I saw this matchup, I didn't really know who was on this card beforehand. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna do a quick like little tangent. Like since we haven't been recording, I feel like I've turned into like let's say a casual, because I don't think casuals watch one championship as much as I do. But like
you got less time for like the filler that the UFC cranks out.
Yeah, like I know, and I know I'm not the only one who I've seen other people now who are like kind of waking up to this. Like a lot of these cards, man, they're so watered down, and it's not to say that like
there's
the
not
fights.
talent.
Yeah, it's not that there isn't talent or like the fights aren't good. Like this card was, like we said, it was just violence all over the place. But it's just a lot of fights that just don't mean anything, and it's like,
dude, they're like the UFC is signing guys and putting them on television who they've never seen fight before.
Yeah,
like who's the dude? Who's the dude? Was it Jamal Hill or Ryan Spann or who was it? The other week that fought that guy with the fake record.
Yeah, with the man. Yeah, like before the fight, he was like 13 or something, and they find out it was weird. Yeah, I don't know what's.
Oh, it was what's his name?
I don't know what's going on, man. But it's
dude. They just sign dude. They just go on Fight Finder and find a dude, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to fight on ESPN?" It was Alonzo Menafield. He fought Oscar Mazarov.
Yeah, and Oscar's record was he bought his UFC record from like the game, not in real life.
Dude was out here fighting soccer dads and managed to go like 25 and like 16 or something.
Yeah, like my relationship with the UFC has just kind of been like, don't get me wrong, I'm still a junkie because I still watch it. Like it's gonna be on if I'm able to watch it. But I feel like I'm not as invested as I used to be. Like I'm just
and like honestly, how could you be? Like I don't like I don't even watch regional MMA anymore because like, well, as soon as somebody wins the title or as soon as like somebody in the UFC gets hurt, like they're just gonna be in the UFC fighting on ESPN or ESPN Plus or on a prelim or something, right? Like,
yeah,
there's no dude like you're gonna see like there are guys who are like 5-1 in the UFC who have not beaten like a guy with a winning record. It's just like they have so many dates to fill and so many fights to fill and so many people get hurt that like everybody gets sucked up into the promotion and like
yeah, it's a mess. It's it's such a mess. But Kevin Holland, I caught the end of this fight. I looked over and saw the Darce. and didn't see anything else in this fight. But Kevin Holland put a dart stroke on Tim Means. And apparently the same day, caught a thief who was stealing perfume, I think. Something. Did you see that video on Twitter?
No, what was that?
So Kevin Holland, I don't know if it was coach, somebody, they were outside, and I guess they saw somebody steal something. So Kevin Holland said, I practiced my cardio, and we chased him down. And they whatever the dude stole, I guess they got it back. I think that was the day before the fight. So good on Kevin Holland being Batman out here, I guess. Chasing would-be criminals stealing perfume or whatever that person stole. I don't remember what it was. But shout out to Kevin Holland. And I'll let you talk about
the like the story of John Jones stopping that dude and what was in Newark.
Yeah. Something like that. But the main event was Josh Emmett versus Calvin Kattar, featherweight main event. I did not get to catch much of this fight because I was throwing turtle shells. I will let the Anti-Cool break this one down because I'm pretty sure he saw much more of this.
I did.
Than I did.
It was a good fight. It was slow starting. It was one where like Kattar was really trying to fill him out with the jab early. And my takeaway from the first 3 rounds is that like if you're gonna have a strike differential of like 1 in each round, you can't be the guy who is shelling up and then letting the other guy like knock you off balance, even if it doesn't land clean, and you like break stance and fall into the cage. Kattar just really seemed to be cautious of Emmett's like power. Really did not want to like lead. Really wanted Kattar to like throw so he could counter off it. Not Emmett to throw so he could counter off it. And then rounds 4 and 5 happened, and I guess Kattar just woke up and was just like, "Hey, if I lead, he can't counter me, even though that's what he wants." And then he did, and then he just beat the crap out of Emmett for like 10 minutes straight. But it was too late because I guess the judges gave the first 3 rounds to Emmett. It was a good fight, tense fight. I don't know if it gets Emmett a title shot. They're doing the Yair Ortega fight. Was it next month? And if Yair wins,
yeah, he's definitely getting a title shot.
I mean, yeah,
definitely getting a title shot. But he's probably at least in the wing, or if somebody gets injured.
Yep.
Yeah, he'd probably be a fill-in.
Crazy. Emmett's 37 years old with the style that he fights at, man. It's crazy to me that he's still like climbing these ranks at featherweight.
Hey, still I guess when you can hit that hard.
Yep.
The power.
Everything else slows down around you.
Yep. But yeah, it was a pretty good card. Go watch. It was a lot of violence going on, like a lot of finishes. So if you were to rewatch that card and like skip commercials, you'll be done pretty quick. You'll be done pretty quick. So go give that a watch if you missed it. I had one last quick topic. I'm gonna give some shout outs real quick before I forget. Just to go back in time for last week. We don't have to like go in detail. But UFC 275 was the thing. Shout outs to Weili Zhang, man. I got to go back. I got to get this documented. Jesus Christ, that KO over Joanna was whoosh.
There with the Hurricane.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta mention that. That was probably my moment of like the month that I was riding the high on that, and then Joanna retired allegedly. I think I believe her.
I believe her. Like she was away for 2 years, and she was like, "I'm not coming back unless it's a title shot." And then they're like, "We'll give you a number 1 contender against Zhang Weili," and then she came back for that. And it's just like, even coming into this fight, she didn't sound like I'm the champ. I'm gonna be storming up for the belt again. It's just kind of okay with it. So I think she's gone.
Yeah, that was a moment. Shout out to Joanna. Great career. Some of the best fights we've seen. in the UFC. Definitely like
Second-
one of the best talents I think that's ever walked in this sport.
Yep, Joey was wrong when he said that she was the most boring UFC champion. But
Oh no, she's great.
that's what that is the thing he said.
Nah,
I will never see it. She's been in arguably like the 3 best women's MMA fights ever, and arguably the best MMA fight ever.
Yeah, no, she was the truth. Like she was the truth.
And for my money, the best like cardio athlete the MMA has ever seen. Because oh my god,
yeah.
her output was crazy.
So, shout out to Joanna. Shout out to the Jen gang. Shevchenko got the win over Talia Santos. And Glover and Jiri had a wow.
It's a fight that could only happen at 205.
Yep, and that's the only way to describe it. Only at 205 could we get such a fight. But shout out to Jiri.
The best way to describe both guys were just handing each other the fight back and forth.
Right. Like, yo, you can have this. Nah, I insist. Yeah, this was wild. But shout out to Jerry, man. Hey, we've been saying this forever. Even though he had to beat a 40-year-old man to do it, but that's not his fault. You only fight who's in front of you. Other people outside of the UFC are good, man.
Dude, Sakaki Bara, man. I made fun of him earlier for fumbling the bag for Tenshin Takeru, but dude pulled Jiri from like Europe. He found Vadim Nemkov. He found Bruno Capoloza, dude who won the PFL heavyweight tournament last year. Like he finds champions, man. He found a bunch of champions.
And Jiri is another person on the list outside of the UFC. Made his name in Rising, or at least a lot of people I know, that's how we found out about him. Came to UFC, won a championship. We've been telling y'all they're good fighters elsewhere, but some people insist, but whatever.
It only took him 3 fights.
Right. In a fight, he should have lost about 4 different times, but hey, yeah. Whatever happens, happens. But yeah, no, I just wanted to go back and touch on that. Shout out to boxing as a whole. I've been missing some fights, but all the fights I have seen have been really fun. So just shout out to the sport of boxing. I'm really mad I missed the Inoue fight. Even though I don't think that fight lasted that long.
2 rounds.
Yeah, I didn't know it was happening though, and then by the time I found out it was over. But now boxing, like literally the entire time while we haven't been recording, I've been having a blast. Like every boxing fight I've watched.
They are in such a the sport is in such a amazing run right now since February even
Yeah, now boxing's been killing it.
Yeah, it's only getting stronger. Bunch of big fights coming up. Bam Rodriguez, Sorang Vasai. They got the Joshua Usyk rematch booked for August, I think. And
I gotta document this. I don't think I ever talked about this on the podcast, but you know what? I'm gonna document it anyway. I owe an apology to Devin Haney. I was not a believer at first. I don't remember who I talked about him with, but I don't know. I wasn't a believer. And then I watched him jab Kambosa's face off for how many ever rounds. I knew about me and my coworker bet on that fight. And after about 3 rounds, I was like, oh, I made the wrong choice.
Believe me, man, I like it. Haney's in such a weird spot because he is the unified lightweight champion, but he also hasn't beaten I like Kambosa, but I think he was just in the right place at the right time when it came to Teofimo. Call him at the height of his ego as he was getting too big for the division after a year of inactivity and him being overlooked. It's just and as a result, Haney, I don't think Haney has that we have to consider Kambosa a top lightweight because of that win, but I don't think Haney has a win over another top lightweight.
Yeah, see, that was my like original thing about whoever I was talking about him with was that I hadn't seen Haney like in like a big. So I was always like, why do people hype him up so much? Like, who is he really beating for y'all to talk about him like this?
Joe Diaz is a good fighter, like a good lightweight. But like, he's not one of these other dudes who's like everybody's talking. He's not like Garcia or Tank or Vasily.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
But I'll say, and also, I'm not like the most knowledgeable boxing person, so take this with a grain of salt. But I'll say, I'll still give an apology. He's better than probably what I was giving him credit for. So I'll say that much. And I'm interested to see whoever. I don't want to see the rematch. I don't think we need, but it looks like he's exercising the rematch clause.
I mean, I would too.
Yeah, if I got beat up like that, I guess.
It's all the belts. It's all that money.
Yeah, I get it. But as a fan, I'm like, yeah, you got beat up. You got smashed, buddy. I don't know if we really need to see this again. But yeah, you got the clause. Who am I to tell you not to do it again?
But it's like it's this or it's nothing for Camboso. He's back to fighting guys in their hometowns. You know what I mean?
And
He's
for
not
Haney,
like Canelo. He doesn't have other options.
and I think for Haney, like if you can go out and get even like a more dominant win, that's a good thing for you. Set you up for a bigger fight. So if Haney gets past him the second time, which nothing tells me he won't, I'm interested to see like if he can get into a bigger fight. Like I want to see how he kind of just pans out. I want to see him in a bigger.
It's interesting because he has all the belts, and I don't think he has like a promoter. Like I think he's like just like a guy who like floats around like Canelo does.
Hmm.
I don't know if he has like a deal with DAZN, but like Ryan's on DAZN. I don't know if they were planning on doing the Vasily Lomachenko fight, though. Who knows with Vasily currently serving in the Ukrainian army.
Hmm.
Who knows? And there are some lightweights who don't get as much like love as they probably should, who are like floating around and could be like other challenges for Haney.
We'll see. But if you ain't been watching boxing, man,
We killing it.
get to watching.
Lots of great stuff.
Yeah, that whole like boxing's dead. That trash out of here. These fights have been amazing. These fights have been so on point. So the last topic, we don't got to spend too much time on this, but I thought it was of interesting note. So once upon a time, way back when, was really good kickboxer named Pereira Adesanya made his way over to the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were worried about like them rushing him, but that wasn't a worry. Man's handled his business, got to the title, got the belt, been holding it ever since. Went up to 205. He tried it, didn't work, but that's cool. It is what it is.
Happens.
Yeah, it happens. And now another gentleman who was also really good in kickboxing, named Alex Pereira, who was in Glory, snatching souls, punching people into completely different atmospheres. Also came to the UFC. He is, I don't have his record up in front of me. He's what, 3-0 in the UFC?
I said 2-0, but you
2-0?
might be right.
Can't remember if it's 2 or 3. It's not that many. It's under 5. Whatever it is, it's under 5. And he is now. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up his record. Yep, he is 2-0. He has a win TKO over Andreas Michailidis. I probably said that wrong. And a decision over Bruno Silva. And somehow he jumped from Bruno Silva. He's gonna be fighting Sean Strickland. And the rumor.
I think the UFC hates Sean Strickland, as they should. Everybody should hate Sean Strickland.
I feel that way too. He is
Sean Strickland, strong contender for worst person in MMA,
man.
which is a really competitive.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Him and Jake Shields are kind of.
Oh my God, Jake Shields is sad.
They're battling it out.
I mean, Jake Shields is bad, but he's also sad, so that makes it a little less bad. Just a sad man.
But yeah. So what is going to be happening at UFC 276? I think.
Yes, July 2nd.
Yep, we're gonna get Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira. So we're gonna play Fantasyland. Let's just say, and I'm pretty sure we're all hoping for this outcome. Let's say Pereira just puts Sean Strickland on a milk carton. just gets him out of there, which I'm pretty sure like 98% of us are hoping for. And that sets us up for Pereira and Izzy to fight again. This would be for the third time.
Yes.
In MMA. This time it would be in MMA instead of kickboxing. Does Pereira have a chance? Can he pull this off again?
I mean, yeah. The real question is, does Israel Adesanya drop for a heel hook? I want to know. That's the over one or more heel hook attempts from Israel Adesanya.
Oh man.
Does he go full Cyril Gane?
Because when Alex got to the UFC, I was like, okay, all right, I'm glad he's here. I'm interested to see how this turns out. He gets the KO his first fight. I'm like, all right, his first fight. They probably, they gave him somebody they knew he was probably gonna beat. And even though he won the Bruno Silva fight, like he definitely had to work.
Yep.
You could tell he's been working on his MMA game, but I was wondering after that fight, like, okay, how is he going to look against better competition? And albeit while I don't really like Sean, it's trying to think how big is the leap from Bruno Silva to Sean Strickland.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like I'm trying to remember the last time I saw Sean Strickland like take somebody down.
Oh no, he's gonna try to stand.
Because like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, even if it stays on the feet, like kickboxing and MMA and kickboxing are completely, but not completely different. But like, there's layers to be exploited. Like he could just push Pereira into the fence for like 3 rounds and make all of our lives miserable.
And sometimes I do worry about Pereira's cardio over the course of a longer.
Yeah, like we were talking, like 15-minute rounds. He used to get 5-minute breaks or 4-minute breaks, I guess, in between round. And not 4 1-minute breaks or 3 1-minute breaks, I think. No, I'm like not to count 2, 3, 4. All right, yeah, 3. In like 15-minute rounds, but doesn't get that anymore.
So, yeah.
It's such a different beast. I don't think we give that. Like we were talking about Tenshin's cardio earlier. Going from one to the other is so hard just because it's an extra 6 minutes of fighting.
And every minute, every minute counts.
And an extra 2 minutes per round, like.
Yeah, I feel like. Well, I would be so pissed off, bro. Like Pereira and Izzy, like the story is there. Like we got it. And if Sean Strickland messes this up, wake up,
it really proves he is the worst.
Or because I don't want to look past Cannonier, I want this Izzy Silva, this Izzy Pereira fight so bad. Because how many times have we ever seen that before? Where like a dude has fought somebody in a completely different sport, and the name
Valentina and Joanna.
All right, so one other time.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if we've probably seen like some like jiu-jitsu guys or wrestling.
It's not something that happens super often. And guys or talent of like this caliber, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then especially considering that Pereira got, like I said, the man's only fought 2 fights. If he wins his third, he's pretty much he's gonna be in a title fight.
Hunt Crocop. There we go.
Yeah. So it's might give this again. Pereira is 2-0 against Adesanya, though I went back recently and watched both of those fights.
Man, Adesanya was winning both of them.
Yes. To be honest,
he arguably won the one that went to decision, and he was winning the one that ended with him getting knocked out.
Yeah.
And that was in part because he didn't trust the judges after the first time where he got robbed.
The first fight I thought Izzy definitely won. The second fight, Izzy was winning until he wasn't winning. Because if Pereira catches you like that, you're gonna die. Man just hits it's incredibly hard. I don't know. How do we think Fantasyland, Pereira, Izzy? How does this fight go if we get it? Does Pereira come over and become champ in 4 fights?
So one of the things I've noticed, or I think everybody's noticed about Izzy, is that when he is fighting someone who is big and strong and powerful, kind of just shuts down. Like he did against Jan, he did against Romero. And I'm not gonna say he's like a head case. He's not like a Rose Namajunas, but he does seem like somebody who's really insecure. Like when he doesn't have like all the advantages. And Pereira's huge.
I was like, what if Pereira shoots for the takedown? We talk about Izzy going for hooks.
And
bro, like Pereira's a large human being. Like, he is a very large middleweight.
Yeah, they're like the same height, right?
Probably about the same height, but they're like physique builds are.
They're long guys. They're the lanky guys. Like, they're both like 6'4". So it's gonna be interesting to see how Adesanya deals with like the range. I don't think it's gonna be a firefight. Like, I don't think Adesanya will let himself get into a firefight in 4-ounce gloves. Like with Gastelum, he kind of wasn't given like a choice, but I don't think Pereira has that like I'm going to literally hunt you down and throw my face into your fists, so that I can hit you back type mentality that Gastelum did. So if it comes down to, I think Adesanya would try to outpoint him, and I don't know if Pereira is. I don't think adept is the word, but I don't know if he's like in the headspace where he's like, well, I knocked him out the last time we fought, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm just gonna keep throwing that big left hook until it lands. And I don't know if that makes for like a very entertaining fight. But I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't.
I guess I would have to pick Adesanya just because, like, dude has like 6 times more MMA fights. You know, he's been fighting better competition. He has a better idea of like what wins like close fights in MMA than Alex, but I don't know. I do not know.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be I think it's gonna be one of those fights where like in the first round people are gonna start booing. So I don't think a lot's gonna happen. But I could either see Izzy snipes for 5 rounds because he's definitely not getting in any kind of firefights as nobody should with Alex Pereira because that's probably not gonna end well for you. He either snipes him for 5. I think if Izzy wins, it probably won't be the most exciting performance. If Alex wins, it won't be because he completely bludgeoned him. It'll just be like, all right, I had one opportunity to land a good shot.
And he took it.
And I caught him. And he never woke up. Am I feeling bold today?
I have when you pick, I have a question for you.
Okay. I think I'm going to stand on the ledge. You know what? I'm going to stand on the ledge. And in Fantasyland, if this happens. But, like, it's got to happen. Like, Izzy has to beat Cannonier. And Alex has to beat Strickland. Like, it has to happen that way. Like, if one of them loses and they meet later down the road, my prediction doesn't null and void. It's got it's got to happen this exact way. If Izzy gets past Cannonier, Pereira gets past Strickland, and that's how they meet up. You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say somehow that's the way Izzy loses the belt. He loses somehow. Alex just finds a way to get his number again. And it might look a lot like their last fight where Izzy's winning a lot of it, and then somehow Pereira he finds a small opportunity to exploit and he gets it. And maybe they get a rematch out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go on the ledge. I'm gonna say if it happens, going Pereira. Going Pereira.
All right. So this being MMA, I think the obvious way this is going to shake out is Sean Strickland's going to win a very boring decision over Alex Pereira. And Jared Cannonier, after losing 3 rounds, will leg kick Izzy, hit him in the ankle, and absolutely shatter it, causing Izzy to go down and have to lose the fight. So when we get Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland for the title, who do you got?
Oh no, I'm not gonna watch. Oh, that would be so bad. Oh, no.
Yeah. The conspiracy theorist versus the neo-Nazi.
Oh boy, that yikes. Oh, that Cannonier post-fight speech would be something. That is gonna be a. You know what? I think because of the post-fight speech, I gotta go with Cannonier. I think that post-fight speech is gonna be. I don't know if I don't know if good. Good's probably not the word to describe it. Hold up. Who? Hold on. I'm trying not to spend too much time. How did Sean Strickland get here? How did this happen? How did he make his way? Because Cannonier has at least fought he's fought some names.
Yeah.
We make fun of him, but he's been out here. He's been putting in some work.
And he beat Hermanson, Hall, Jotko, Brendan Allen. He's been beating dudes around the top 10 for a hot minute, and there's just literally nobody else in this division except Marvin Vittori.
Oh, okay. All right, I see us. Okay. Yeah, that's how strict.
Yeah, and I guess is what's his face back at middleweight, or are they forcing him to do 205, Paulo Costa?
I don't know what's up with dude. I just see him on Twitter every now and again, and I don't know what he's doing.
He's a professional tweeter now.
Yeah. You know who Sean Strickland didn't beat? Zaleski dos Santos.
Yeah. But that was done at welterweight.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, so Sean Strickland is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight. All right. Wins over Jack Hermanson, Uriah Hall, Jotko, Brendan Allen, Jack Marshman, Nordine Taleb. Okay.
And the only good quote unquote win is the one he had against Allen. Every other fight's been bad.
Yeah, for as much trash as he talks, you would
about
think
being a psychopath killer.
Yeah, you would think his fights would be a lot better, but they leave a lot to be desired. And
there's a reason this man is never tired in the post fight.
Cannonier's got wins over Anderson, Hermanson, lost to Whitaker, but that's Whitaker, and then he came back, beat Gastelum, beat Brunson. And I think Cannonier finishes him. I hope Cannon. All right, well, I don't hope because this fight's not going to happen. But if it does, and the MMA guys would be cruel if they gave us this. Oh, this would be bad. But if it does happen, I'm gonna go Cannonier by I would say TKO.
Okay.
I think they can get him out of there. Then we can get our conspiracy theory speech that I don't say we deserve, but we're gonna get it.
He's gonna be talking about crystals, and that time he almost murdered a 5-year-old on camera.
I wonder if he's into crypto. I wonder if he's into
Well, we're about to find out.
I wonder if what does Jared Cannonier feel about NFTs?
Jared Cannonier, I want to type in Jared Cannonier's name. It's just jaredcannonier.f. I'm sorry, ETH. Oh, he doesn't have a Twitter.
Oh, he is 38.
Maybe he just got tired of people calling him conspiracy theories. He did have a Twitter.
Man.
So actually, fun Jared Cannonier story. I know about Jared Cannonier because somebody, oh my God, his fucking Instagram handle is a picture of like a like brain.
Lord Jared.
But I know about Jared Cannonier and Lauren Murphy because I used somebody like a photographer who used to train like MMA followed me on Tumblr and was telling me about them before they like got signed and everything. He's like, oh, yeah, they're really good. They're gonna make and this is back when Jared Cannonier was like a heavyweight. He was like a 5'10" heavyweight.
When he like bald back then?
Yeah.
He was like he looked like a completely different person.
He went down to Arizona and got in shape. But it has me thinking because like I said, he's from Alaska. Where
somehow that made his personality make a lot more sense.
Yeah, exactly. So it has me think. Like you're a certain type of way if you come from the Alaskan MMA scene. I've learned.
I mean, hey, we saw it. Is their league still a thing?
The Alaska Fighting Championship.
Oh man,
I think they changed owners and then just never came back. But
yeah, if y'all never saw an Alaskan Fighting Championship card or fight,
it is.
I
imagine it's what people who like. Well, MMA is this and this and this. It's exactly what they think MMA is.
Yeah, if you never saw one of their cards, man, it is yeah. It's something. Wow. So I typed in Alaskan Fighting Championships, and you know who the second person is? Second result? Jared Cannonier versus Joshua Ofu. I don't know how to say that. What? Oh, Mighty Mouse fought here?
Yeah. I can't remember who he fought, but he knocked some dude out with like a head kick up there.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of like really prominent MMA fighters fought up there. Like Jorge Masvidal fought up there, Joe Lozon, oh my God, what's his name? Rafael Sunsao. Like a bunch of dudes. This is back in the day where like you could fight in the UFC or you could fight in Strikeforce, but you also like could just fight anywhere else.
Right.
Because they only had so many spots, so you just took fights where you could.
Oh man. Oh. Yeah, that's y'all guys' homework. Watch Tenshin Takeru, watch some boxing, watch some kickboxing, go rewatch card from last night. Go watch some Alaskan Fighting Championship. But don't watch the famous people. Don't watch the names you recognize. Those are not the fights we want to focus on. Go watch the fights from the people you've never heard of. Did Cody McKenzie fight there?
Yeah, probably.
I feel like he did. He was made for that.
Yeah, prime if they did.
he had to have passed through there. Him and his shorts had to have passed through there somewhere.
Alaska's greatest fighter has to have fought in Alaska.
Oh man!
Wait, oh my God! No, he didn't.
Wow,
that's in the front.
That is a crying shame. That's wrong. That is an injustice.
Bring back Alaska Fighting Championship specifically so he can fight.
Right, just for him. Oh man. But yeah, I don't really have much else. Yeah, it's got a while, man. It's so wild recording this because so much has happened since the last time we recorded that if I tried to shout out everything, like it turned into one of those episodes that was like 4 hours long. Definitely can't do that. Yeah, I guess real quick, and this is like a real freestyle episode. Like I said, man, we just there's certain fights that if they happen, y'all will hear from us again. So when that Crawford and Bud, not I said Crawford and Bud. What am I doing? Crawford and Spence fight happens. Y'all will definitely be hearing from us again. If John Jones ever comes out of the woodwork, and if he fights anybody at this point, Jesus Christ, I don't even know if
they're saying Stipe in September.
Yeah,
At least they're trying to make that fight happen.
so they say.
Who knows?
So they say. But no, like I've been watching fights in our absence, just not as involved. It's become more of a I kind of just watch it just for fun now. Like I'm not super invested. I just kind of I let it
As
just
you should.
yeah, I just let it be a hobby, and it's actually been a lot nicer watching it that way. And to be honest, I do think that we ended the pod at a very good time because if we would have had to record through all of these fight night cards that we've been getting, it would have been a lot of episodes of just screaming and yelling and like, what is this? Like, I woke up 9 o'clock on a Sunday to record. I don't know. I don't know who's been fighting. Like, yeah, I don't know.
So you're telling me you wouldn't have had a hot take about I don't know, like Andre Petrosky versus Nick Maximus?
Right.
Maximov?
Like, man, what y'all got me watching out here? But nah. I've been having fun though. Still watching a lot of combat sports, just more of a leisure activity. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I'm probably gonna regret saying this because it means I'm actually gonna have to work on it. But you know what? I guess I got to put some fire under myself. I am working on making my own Discord. Technically, I already have it. I just haven't finished setting it up. Um, and we'll be able to do like fight nights and stuff in there when I finally get that off the ground. Um, I have most of it done. Like 98% of the Discord is done, but I have to add some last minute things. I need to make like a rules section and just some last minute touches that I haven't been able to work on because these last like 2 weeks have been kind of hectic for me. Had a lot going on. Got stuff going on at the job. That's a whole nother discussion. Just life has been life, and not like anything terrible, but just I've been kind of busy with a lot of different stuff going on. But yeah, whenever I get the Discord done, it will be an invite only. So I'll be hitting y'all up like Nick Fury recruiting for the Avengers. So if you see me, you see me in your DM, and I send you a Discord link, you'll know what it's for. And we'll probably do fight nights and stuff like that in the Discord, along with like gaming stuff. Because I'm still out on Twitch. Well, I've been on a little break because I've been sick. But yeah, like for especially like all the people who supported us on Tumblr, definitely, man, appreciate you guys. So yeah, if I hit y'all with that Discord link, just take heed, join. It'll be fun things happening in the Discord. Trying to think of some last minute plugs. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv / Serial Sensei. Try to stream 3 days a week. I don't really have a schedule anymore, but I try to at least stream 3 days a week. But I've been sick lately, so I think I've only done 2 days this week. Oh, it's a new week actually. I did 2 days last week. This week I don't know. Once I start feeling like 100%, I'll hop back on Twitch. But you can definitely follow me on there. I'm pretty active on the Twitch streets. Best social media place to contact me is on Twitter. Serial Sensei everywhere. I have a YouTube page. YouTube is Serial Sensei 410. I normally just upload like little gaming clips and stuff like that. My book, The Oddball Chronicles, Volume 1 and 2, both on Amazon, other places. Buy those, support those. I don't think any shout outs, anything I want to shout out. There probably are, but I can't think of any. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I gotta go do some Father's Day stuff in a little bit. I need to make a trip to the store and buy some stuff because gotta cook later. Got anything else you want to shout out? Any events coming up? Any thing we should keep an eye on?
No, just I don't know. Be good to each other. If you on the fence about something, take the leap.
There you go. There we go. That's a good message. Take the lead.
Take the leap. Hop that shit. Like, life's too short to not take chances.
There you go. There you go. Motivation for the podcast. Y'all be safe out there, man. I know it's summertime and people are outside. COVID is definitely, yeah. COVID is still a real thing, man. I know people are still out here catching it. I know people have caught it like multiple times, and not to where like it got better the second time they caught it. Like it was just as bad as the first. I had a family member who recently caught it. She actually just got over it like a week ago. So yeah, please be safe out here, man. Be smart when you're moving around. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man, for listening to this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. And whenever another notable fight happens, we'll pop back up. Y'all see us again. But this has been episode number 176 of the Dojo Talk podcast. I'm Serial Sensei. This is my host, Anti-Cool. And anytime people are being punched and or kicked in the face, specifically on our fight list, we'll be back to talk about it. And we will see you guys next time.